This review is on the Makita LXT Blower, as you can see here. One thing to note is that this comes with the tool only. It does not come with the lithium-ion battery. Speaking of the battery, I'm going to be using the 18-volt lithium-ion, which is what you have to use, but I'm going to use the 1.5 amp hour version instead of the larger 3.0 ampere hours battery. So it's going to reduce the amount of time that the blower works, but for the purposes of this review, it'll work fine. Okay, a couple things to notice right away. One, it's kind of tough to see in the pictures, but this is a small unit. In terms of, look, I'll put a hammer next to it. This is a very small unit, so you can almost fit inside your toolbox if you take this nozzle off, which comes off the quick twist. It also has 3 speeds, 3, 2, and 1. The number 3 speed will eat your battery the quickest, but it also has a pretty good amount of force behind it. The other thing that can happen is you can untwist the nozzle here, attach it there, and you can buy separately a dust collector, and your blower becomes a little vacuum. I don't know if it's going to be worthwhile to use it as a vacuum, but you do have that functionality. Again, it'll take the 1.5 and the 3.0 ampere hours lithium-ion batteries. With charging them anywhere, the 1.5 charges in about 15 to 20 minutes. The 3.0 will charge in a little over a half hour. So that's some of the basics. What you're probably interested in now is how it actually works. Okay, so I'm going to do a little blowing here. You won't be able to hear me when I talk, but the unit weighs about 3.5, 4 pounds, so it's very light on your hand, easy to use. So. Okay, the gist of this is if you're blowing on concrete or something paved, this is going to do a very good job, especially in the number 3 setting. If you're blowing, if you're trying to go into the grass, you might be a little bit more limited. So it does work really well for blowing grass off your sidewalk. If you're doing much heavier jobs than that, you might want to look at a more traditional type unit, gas powered or electric. One more time. One thing to know is we just had a rain, so you're not seeing everything blow as dramatically maybe as possible because it is a little wet out here. Okay, final verdict on the Makita LXT Lithium-Ion Blower. Tool only. Again, this does not come with a battery. I'm going to give it 5 stars. It works great for paved surfaces, blowing out your garage, blowing the grass off the sidewalk and whatnot, as long as it's dry. There are going to be jobs that it's not going to work, so it's not going to completely replace your gas-powered or blower. But you know, if you're trying to blow wet leaves on your grass, this probably isn't going to work for you. But as long as your expectations are realistic and you just need something that's real light for quick jobs, if you want to blow dust off your sawdust off your workbench or something like that, the thing's going to work phenomenally well. The battery lasts about 5 minutes with a 1.5 ampere hour battery, lithium-ion, which doesn't sound like much, but you can usually get most jobs done in right around 5 minutes. So from me, it's an easy 5 stars.